Homo sapiens. Modern humans have been around for roughly 300,000 years, and modern science has existed for only 0.1% of that time. So while science is absolutely marvelous and life-changing, it is only wise to honor the deeper wisdom that has sustained humanity for so long. Now let's explore rest as it's woven into the deep-rooted wisdom, community, culture, and tradition since the beginning of civilization. Before humans formed civilizations, we lived as hunter-gatherers for about 300,000 years, roughly 98% of our species' history. Even though they faced constant threats like predators, harsh weather, and the uncertainty of food supply, they were often more naturally rested than people in modern societies. Their lifestyle created a balance between exertion and recovery, with rest embedded in movement, work, play, and social life. They slept according to the natural rhythms of the sun, often in long night stretches with occasional daytime naps. Rest extended far beyond sleep. Storytelling, singing, and oral traditions were natural activities, especially around communal fires. These traditions served as entertainment. They strengthened social relationships, relieved emotional stress, and passed on knowledge, skills, and cultural memory. Dancing and playing instruments were equally important, serving as both physical exercise and psychological restoration, releasing endorphins and creating joy. Hunter-gatherers also engaged in artistic expression, such as cave paintings, carvings, and decorating objects. These artistic acts were meditative and communal, promoting focus, shared identity, and calm, making creativity another form of integrated rest. Women played a vital role in the rest and well-being of the group. Gathering food involved careful observation and patience, effectively combining mindful work with low-stress activity. Child rearing included nursing, singing, and storytelling, and social bonding, benefiting both mama and her baby. Women also participated in rituals, dances, and art, embedding both restorative practices into the fabric of daily life. Unlike later civilizations, hunter-gatherer societies were generally egalitarian, and women's rest was essential for survival and valued. As humans transitioned from hunter-gatherer communities to the first civilization in the area that is now Iraq, Mesopotamia became the world's earliest widely recognized civilization around 6,500 years ago. And what we know of them is that despite having all the challenges that come with creating a civilization, they did not forget incorporating rest into the fabric of the new lives they built. The adults played board games, games of chance, and the children played with toys. They danced and sang and played instruments at festivals, religious ceremonies, and royal courts. To unwind, they played sports like racing, boxing, a type of polo, swimming, hunting, and wrestling. And just like the hunter-gatherer tribes, storytelling and social gatherings were an important part of their society. The wealthy hosted lavish banquets with a variety of soul foods, wine, and music. And the people who were religious enjoyed processions, games, music, and the performance of literary works. Storytelling was a vital part of the culture, with tales like the Epic of Gilgamesh passed down orally and eventually written on clay tablets. Dialogues and debates were also popular forms of spoken entertainment. Basically, they engaged in all kinds of activities that brought about rejuvenation, restored balance, and health and well-being. So much so that the earliest written story, the first piece of written literature in the history of human civilization named the Epic of Gilgamesh, highlights the importance of rest. Through the story, it highlights that even kings can't outrun human limits. Gilgamesh can defeat monsters and conquer kingdoms, but he can't conquer sleep. When he's tested to stay awake for 6 days, he fails instantly. The epic makes it clear. Rest is more powerful than rulers, older than civilization, and built into the fabric of being human. The civilization that followed, about 400 to 700 years after Mesopotamia, we know as ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, rest was woven into the fabric of life. Unlike many later civilizations that treated rest as an interruption to productivity, Egyptians lived according to natural cycles. The rise and fall of the Nile, the shift of seasons, the predictable arc of the sun. This rhythm created a world where restoration was not an indulgence, but a birthright, a necessary part of keeping life in balance. Daily life included built-in spaces for slowing down. The midday heat forced even the busiest workers to pause, gather in the shade, and enjoy cool bread, figs, and beer. Homes were intentionally designed for comfort. Open courtyards that invited breezes, rooftop sleeping areas for hot nights, and small water pools that cool surrounding air. People napped on reed mats or curved wooden headrests, accepting rest as part of both climate and culture. Leisure was a joy-filled expression of being human. Music and dance filled the home, the street, and the temple. Harps, flutes, and handheld clappers accompanied gatherings, and women often played central roles as singers, dancers, and musicians. Beauty itself was a form of rest. Fragrant oils, lotus perfumes, soft linens, and cosmetics all soothed the senses and brought pleasure into everyday life. Egypt also had one of the world's earliest systems of communal rest, expressed through frequent festivals. Work stopped, families gathered, and entire cities entered days of celebration. Temples carried statues of gods through streets. People danced, feasted, and drank beer. Music echoed across the riverbanks. These festivals were a form of spiritual rest, moments when the entire society breathed out. At home, rest took gentler forms: storytelling at twilight, reciting love poems, playing the board game Senet, watching children with dolls and wooden animals, or simply gathering over meals. Cleanliness offered its own restoration. Daily washing, scented oils, and shared massages all provided physical and emotional ease. Underlying it all was a deep spiritual sense of order. Egyptians believed that the universe rested on harmony, balance, rightness. To rest was to realign with that balance, to return to the world steady, clear, and renewed. In Egypt, rest was not separate from life. Rest was life's rhythm. Shortly after ancient Egypt had unified along the Nile, another great civilization was rising in the Indus Valley, in what is today Pakistan and northwest India. While their language remains undecoded, the sophistication of their cities, with courtyards, baths, and advanced water systems, suggests that rest and comfort were built into daily life. Toys, figurines, and games found in excavations hint at leisure and play, while public baths and communal spaces imply ritualized social restoration. Even without written records, the urban design that reflects a society that valued rest and balance. After the peak of the Indus Valley civilization, the next great society began to emerge along the Yellow River in China. Here, early settlements grew into the first dynasties, blending agriculture, ritual, and community life in ways that shaped rest, leisure, and daily rhythm. Ancient China developed a deeply holistic approach to rest, blending intellectual, physical, spiritual, and social practices. Life was structured around rhythm and balance, and people cultivated ways to restore both body and mind after work, study, or ritual obligations. Intellectual and artistic pursuits were centered to daily restoration. The Confucian ideal of the 6 arts, rites, music, archery, chariot driving, calligraphy, and arithmetic, shaped a gentleman's education, blending learning with leisure. Calligraphy and painting allowed people to express virtue and beauty, often inspired by nature. Music and playing instruments offered calm and aesthetic pleasure. Poetry and literature encouraged reflection, emotional release, and spiritual rejuvenation, creating mental spaces for rest. Physical activities and games provided both entertainment and recovery. Archery and martial arts cultivated skills and focus, while team sports like Kuju, which was ancient football, or board games like Go, offered strategic stimulation and social interactions. Festivals included dragon and lion dances, dragon boat racing, and ceremonial competitions, blending joyful movement with communal connection. Relaxation and everyday restorative practices were built into life. Tea drinking, napping under trees, bathing in public or private spaces, and spending time in gardens or near temples helped people recharge physically and psychologically. Sleep was respected as essential, and practices to support restful sleep were observed. Spiritual and social life reinforced restoration. Temple visits, worship, and seasonal festivals provided communal reflection, celebration, and alignment with cosmic and social order. Even toys and miniature games were used during festivals to express hope and foster joy in children and adults alike. In ancient China, rest was not a separate domain, it was interwoven with culture, education, and daily living. Every element, from art and music to games, tea, and temple visits, supported a balanced life, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding that physical ease, mental focus, and social bonding and spiritual alignment are all essential to true restoration. Having explored the concept of rest as it was practiced and perceived by humans for almost all of humanity's existence, I hope I have reminded you of your own humanity in need for rest. If you're still here, thank you. See you next time. Bye.